Hello, and welcome to Spirit Among Us. Ephesians chapter 2, verses 1 through 3. And you were dead in the trespasses and sins in which you once walked, following the course of this world, following the prince of the power of the air, the spirit that is now at work in the sons of disobedience, among whom we all once lived in the passions of our flesh, carrying out the desires of the body and the mind, and were by nature children of wrath, like the rest of mankind. Here in Ephesians, after Paul talks extensively about the fallenness that we once lived in, he goes on to remind us that everyone is in this state. We are not unique in having been dead in our sin. We are not unique in following the course of this world or the prince of the power of the air. We weren't the only ones to follow the passions of the flesh, and we weren't the only ones who were children of wrath. Everyone fits into this category. Everyone begins their lives in this way. And sometimes it's honestly very strange to think about because we had no idea this was the case until we knew Christ. When growing up, we thought everything was fine. We thought the world was normal and that we were normal and we were just marching through life on our own self-determined will. But things were not that way. Things were not as they appeared. And anyone who doesn't understand that does not know Jesus, and their eyes haven't been opened to see the truth. All of these things that are listed off here apply to every person who does not believe in Jesus Christ. But today, I want to look specifically at the last thing that Paul references here. All mankind are children of wrath. Now, yesterday we explored what it meant to be a child of wrath, and we looked at what Jesus said about remaining under wrath if we did not obey him. This statement is to say that our very nature brings us under the wrath of God. Because of our sin, both unintentional and intentional, we are deserving of God's judgment. And this is true across the world, to all people. There is no innocent person, but we are all guilty before God. And this is what I want to focus on today. That those who do not know Jesus are currently under the wrath of God. And therefore, if nothing changes in their lives, if they don't come to faith in Christ, they will receive that wrath. Now I know this isn't something that we like to think about. Truthfully, it is very sobering. Because we all have people in our lives who we deeply care about and who do not know Jesus. We all know people that are currently under God's wrath. So why bother talking about it if it makes us so uncomfortable? The reason is to give us a sense of imminence. We do not know how long a person has to come to faith. But we know that every day they don't believe is one less day they have. And we have been charged to share the gospel. It is not our job to save people. We must not carry that burden. But it is our job to earnestly seek their salvation. It is our job to cry out to God and intercede on their behalf. And it is our job to offer ourselves in every way to him so that he will use us as an instrument of their salvation. I want to conclude by looking to Romans chapter 10, verses 13 through 14. For everyone who calls on the name of the Lord will be saved. How then will they call on him in whom they have not believed? And how are they to believe in whom they have never heard? And how are they to hear without someone preaching? How will this world come to know Christ if no one tells them the good news? How can they possibly hear if no one shares the gospel? I encourage you to earnestly seek the salvation of those who you love, those who you are closest to in your life. I know we don't like to think about it, but time is running out. So let us share the truth with a sense of imminence. Thank you for watching, and God bless.